We have quite a day coming up very soon. It's early Saturday morning, and before I begin, let me just mention that last video attracted a few extra thousand people, and I knew what would happen, and it did. And I didn't spend a lot of time in the comment section, busy doing other stuff, but I saw that there were two reactions to that video. Wow and huh, from the people who joined the conversation in progress. If you're just coming to this channel, we're not going to begin each video catching you up to speed. I recently made a series of videos that condensed 5.5 years of valuable information he has given this channel that the church is not telling us. If you want to get caught up, I've made a crash course available to you free, not one penny. And I'll leave the link to that channel in the description box of this channel. It consists of 7 videos. If you're not willing to put in a little extra time to figure out what's going on, don't. But if you're a truth seeker and you want to know, because oh my, we are in special times, and you want to understand what we're talking about right now, go watch those 7 videos. It won't take you that long. They're all about, 20 minutes each, and you'll know what we're talking about, and then you can join the discussion. Now, picking up to the discussion with the regulars who have been here for a while and know what I'm talking about, once again, regarding the hidden lesson of the 10 virgins, I have to make a correction that I had been overlooking. I'm embarrassed by it, actually, that it took me this long to see the mistake I was making. It's not going to affect, it's not a big wholesale change here. Don't panic or think I'm pulling back from, I'm not. We're improving it. We're getting to the truth. I have said all along that it was my assumption that the 10 virgins, which of course are referring to the constellation of Virgo. I mean, if you're paying attention, you see how important that constellation is in New Testament prophecy and what he's doing celestially. It's so often revolving in and around Virgo, the Virgin constellation. And that's why he begins that parable by saying, at that time, or then. He's talking about his coming, because this is a continuation of the Olivet Discourse in chapter 24. We're in the beginning of chapter 25. Then, speaking of his coming, at that time, the kingdom of the heavens. Now he's talking about the kingdom of the heavens, not down here on earth. The kingdom of the heavens will be like 10 virgins, having taken their lamp, go out to meet the bridegroom. He's talking about 10 years of the constellation of the Virgin receiving a light source, which it does each and every year, and I assumed it was the sun. It's not. It's the morning star. The morning star passes by and through that constellation each year as well, and has for the last 10 years, and will again this year. As a matter of fact, last night or sometime yesterday, technically, it showed up. It began its entrance into that constellation. Can we now say that the morning star has brought the light and now the 10th virgin has arrived? I say no. I say no. I say no, because he's going to tell us. He's going to tell us when the 10th virgin actually arrives, and we're going to do it on his time. But the morning star makes so much sense because he identifies with the morning star. It's one of the exact last things he tells us about. He says, I am the morning star. Yes, I am the root of the line of David, but I'm also born of a virgin. He is the morning star, and the morning star has a spectacular relationship with that constellation. It has been bringing the light to that constellation year after year. And this year, it arrives early, really early, way ahead of the sun. It is the lamp. He is the light of the world. And that virgin can be seen as several things, and they may all be appropriate. Mary, you could take a very literal approach on one level. Yes, he is the offspring of that virgin, but he's also the savior of Mary. Israel, faithful Israel, covenantal Israel that gave birth to the Messiah, that brought the Messiah forth through the line of David. Yes, he was birthed out of that situation, but he is their savior too, and he is leading the virgins in truth to his appearance. And you could look at the virgins as the church, the visible church. And once again, yes, he is our light. He is the light of the world. That is part of who we are, is his light. And he's leading us to his arrival. That makes a lot of sense. He tells Thyatira in the letter to Thyatira, the church, he says, I will give you the morning star. The morning star is the lamp that leads these virgins from darkness that night to go out and meet the bridegroom. When there are 10, it's time to go and meet the bridegroom. So, with that said, we have a very unusual day coming up. Some of you were mentioning it in the comment section saying, Stan, what about the solar eclipse on August 12th? And I was so busy with other things, these things that we're talking about with that parable and getting the crash course all done. And I didn't get around to seeing it. And let me say this up front, just so you know, the events of August 12th have nothing to do with my change in understanding the light source for the virgins. None, zero. I didn't even look into August 12th until after I had come to that conclusion. It's so obvious. And I was like, oh my goodness. So August 12th, actually, when I looked into it, brought me confirmation that, yeah, you should have been pointing to the morning star all along. Okay, on August 12th, 3 very unusual astronomical events take place. There is what they call the Parade of Planets, very early in the morning. Then around noonish, our time here in America, noon to 1 o'clock, depending on where you are, a total solar eclipse. Now, it will be centered not in America, but over parts of Europe and Greenland and Iceland and around and through that area. But right off the bat, we have 2 stunning events, this Parade of Planets and a total solar eclipse. And that total solar eclipse corresponds with, intersects with the peak of the Perseids meteor shower. This annual huge meteor shower peaks on August 12th, just as the total solar eclipse arrives. When that solar eclipse arrives, suddenly in daytime, people who are in the path of totality are going to look up and see a meteor shower to the tune of 100 meteors per hour flashing across the sky in daytime. One expert that I read said it's a once-in-a-lifetime situation. It's amazing. It's amazing that day. What's going on? Something very interesting is going on. Well, as important as that solar eclipse is and the meteor shower matching the peak of that meteor shower, it's this that I want to talk about, the Parade of Planets. One astronomical website puts it this way: on August 12th, 2026, a rare and spectacular 6-planet parade will be visible before sunrise. You can catch Jupiter, Mercury, Mars, Uranus, Saturn, and Neptune aligned in a sweeping diagonal arc across the eastern sky, stretching upward toward the south. Okay, it's very unusual alignment. Okay, it says before sunrise. I want to include the sun, though. Okay, it's before sunrise, but it will continue after sunrise. You just won't be able to see it because the sun is up. But I want you to see where these things are relative to the sun. So we have the sun here. I've removed the horizon. If I put the horizon in, the sun would be just below the horizon here. But I'm removing the ground so that you can see it here using stellarium. There's the sun. Right next to it is the moon because it's getting ready to participate in the total solar eclipse in a few hours. And above the sun and the moon, we have Jupiter, Mercury, Mars, Uranus, Saturn, and Neptune is so far out there you can't see the planet insignia, but the hash marks mark where it is. You will be able to see it if you have like a telescope or something like that. So there they are, all of them on that side of the sun. Everything is on that side of the sun, going that way, as you can see. And it forms that arc it's talking about across the sky. That's an unusual alignment. What's missing? What's missing? One thing. Do you notice all of the light-bearing things in our solar system are that way? Okay? Starting with the sun, that way. It moves that way. There's one other light-bearing astronomical unit that's not taking part in the parade of planets, and that's the morning star. Let's go to the morning star because this is where it will be on August 12th. It will not be on that side of the sun. It will be the only thing on this side of the sun in the solar system that gives light to us here on Earth. And here it is, right next to Virgin Virgo. There it is. This is the announcement by God that the arrival of the 10th Virgin has just happened. He has set this in place who knows how many eons ago, so that all of the light-bearing planets and objects would be on that side of the sun. Venus, right now, the morning star on that week will be as far from the sun as it ever gets. The furthest point in its rotation around the sun will be that week. It is far from everything. It's alone. It's in darkness. The Virgin is completely in darkness except for that lamp, which is the light of the world, which is the morning star. Everything else couldn't be farther away from it. Alone, separate, and significant. And we are to see that because these are the two objects that keep showing up in New Testament prophecy and in the celestial signs that he is giving. The Virgin constellation and the morning star. There they are together. And this time it's for the 10th time. The 10th Virgin just arrived. And just a few days later, the morning star will reach its brightest magnitude of the year. So bright this year that you'll be able to see it in the daytime sky. One expert said it will be 150 times brighter than any other star in the sky at night. Just incredible, all while being in the constellation of the Virgin. And right after this, he gives his version of a fireworks display by turning off the sun and showing us the peak meteor shower. In the daytime, hundreds of meteors flashing across the heavens, honoring this moment, celebrating this moment, the arrival of Virgin number 10 with her lamp, the morning star. It's unbelievable, folks. It's an absolute unbelievable visual optic to see this one planet away from everything else right next to the Virgin. It's incredible. And that's what he wanted us to see. When the Lord tells us he's the morning star, we should have been following this. Find me one church this week. This is Saturday. Tomorrow, find me one church that's even talking about the morning star. It's incredible. It's absolutely stunning that the 10th Virgin is arriving on August 12th. The only thing that this changes from what we've been talking about is it adds a couple of weeks to the 1 year window. For 1 year and about 3 weeks now, we'll have the 10th Virgin. After that, the 11th Virgin. We go at some point to meet the Lord during the 10 Virgins. That starts on August 12th and goes to early September in 2027. This is absolutely stunning. Here's another shot of it from a different piece of planetary software called Celestia or Celestia. It uses constellation boundary lines. And here you see, this is August 12th. There's Venus. There's the Virgin. As you can see, Venus is well inside the boundary lines of that constellation, and it's serving her as a light source to lead her to the coming of himself, the bridegroom. There are a lot of other things I want to talk about. There are special things throughout the travels of the morning star this year through the Virgin constellation. Some things I have not mentioned that are absolutely staggering, but this is enough to chew on for now. I will see you soon. Take a